So Leeds United 0, not sure how. Arsenal 1 again. Kenny, wow, we watched a game against Bodo Glimt on Thursday. It weren't pretty on the eye. Tonight, or today, should I say, this afternoon with our full strength 11, pretty much. Jesus made it. That game was a smash and grab, really. Poor performances all over the park. Players stayed on the pitch that I didn't expect to stay on for 90 minutes. And right at the death, we had the penalty overturned, the red card rescinded. Right at the beginning, we had VAR go down. That game had a bit of everything. For a neutral, it was probably really funny to watch and like intense. But for an Arsenal fan, yeah, how do you feel? Because I feel angry, mate. I feel angry with the performance, and I feel angry with a certain few players in that team today. But what do you feel about it, mate?
Look, that's the sort of performance. I remember last year we had a similar performance where against Wolves. We Wolves battered the life out of us, just like Leeds. And we go, can't you enjoy a win? No, because we're perfectionists. And the fact is that we know our football. We're not like little kids. I'm not a little kid in Tolleton Park, Christ the King, where I'm like, oh, we all agree Liverpool is tragic, Arsenal are magic. Come on, we're bigger than that. A performance like that, if you're playing, like someone like Man City, would have smashed us to pieces. We were awful. Gabriel Jesus was awful.
He was.
Gabriel Magalhaes is I'm not going to call it name calling, but his performance today was just bad. In fact,
Kenny, he's done that for a long time. He just gets away with it every now and again. Our results of massive performances this season.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're playing well in spite of him. Today, he could have cost us big, mate. Big. He got really, really fortunate, right, for VAR. If it wasn't for VAR, he would have got sent off and he would have, like I said, given away a penalty. And in the first half, he was giving the ball away like it was no man's business. He was probably one of the worst players on the pitch. Odegaard, ineffective. Let's just be honest, all right?
How many captains do you know, Kenny? Sorry to cut you off. How many captains do you know that get hooks every game in the second half?
I don't know many, but today it was another game where first half involved in the goal with Saka. That's the good things he's done. But when it came to like the first press, getting involved in the game, Leeds were just making runs past him. So that was an awful performance by him. Gabriel and Jesus was poor. Let's face it, man. He's been really brilliant, but there's no giveaways in football. You know how they say.
Or do you put that down, like, because there was rumours that he weren't going to make the game, Jesus? Do you put that down to the fact that he was still not 100% recovered?
No, not at all, because when you play Premiership football, if you're not 100% fit, you don't play. Because this is the 10th game of the season. No, sorry, was it? Yeah, about the 10th game of the season.
In the league,
yeah, 10th game of the season in the league. It's not a case if we're going for the Championship and we need to patch him up to play, or we're trying to go for the top four, go for European League final. He's 80%. If he's playing now, he's 100%, and that's just not a good performance. It's a bad day at the office for him. We've got to say as it is. It's a bad day at office for a lot of our midfield. Our defence, in terms of Gabriel Magalhaes was awful. Had it not been for Ramsdale, we'd have lost that game because Leeds.
Saliba as well. I thought Saliba in the first half was one of the better players, but the second half he was poor, man. And that penalty was shocking.
Well, the irony of the whole situation is that was a similar situation to the one we had at Highbury the Emirates with it was basically Gabriel this time when the cross goes in and he handles it and the referee doesn't give a penalty. Similar situation where this time it's Saliba doing the same thing, motioning his hand towards the ball, a penalty gets given. So I can understand people who hate VAR. I like VAR, but the inconsistencies favoured Arsenal last week, didn't favour us this week. And again, Patrick Bamford's got to put that away. And if, 64th minute, he puts that away, who knows? We could be hanging on. Maybe that would have shaken us up and maybe we would have gone in another gear. But the way Leeds played, it was a case of hanging on. When you bring Rob Holding on in the last, 10 minutes, that, you're struggling, i.e. your midfield struggling to, like I said, to get a few passes together. Your your midfield your forwards are struggling to hold the ball up, and basically they're just getting down the sides and putting crosses in. That's when Clark Kent turns into Superman, i.e. Rob Holding, and that's one of the themes of the game. It was really a bad day at the office, and as you say, it's a continuation of the poor form in we saw in Norway, and that's the thing. One of the things we criticise our team for is that we know how this leads. If you keep on playing like this, what happens is that you're eventually going to get punished. Now, this could happen against PSV on Thursday or against Southampton, who have got no confidence whatsoever. But they watch that, they're going to get confidence. They're going to have a go, and who knows? This time they may be clinical. So you've got to cut out the sloppiness. Yes, we've been playing well all season. It's been a pleasure to watch them. But we've identified sloppiness. We had sloppiness against Fulham, got punished for it, but we still prevailed. Crystal Palace, we held on. We were a bit sloppy. Liverpool last week, there was sloppiness. There's no denying that. Man United was sloppy. And we let Spurs come games. So if we're going to want to challenge for the title, which has got to be the aim if you're top by this stage of the season, and you've only lost one game, but you've got maximum points.
Go for it. That's the first time we've won 9 out of 10 games in the top flight ever in the top flight.
Exactly.
So it's been a great start. And this is where we sit there and people say, "Oh, you lot are moaning for the sake of moaning." No, we've won the game. We've got the points on the board. The fact and reality is, we've been calling out Odegaard for a while and saying, "Look, he's been poor in games." We've been saying, we've been saying that we need, to rotate a few players here and there. The fact Tierney didn't start today. Tommy Asu, I thought was shocking. I don't know how he stayed on that pitch for 90 minutes. Yes, we put him right back there, but he shouldn't have started. It worked against Liverpool. It ain't going to work against everyone. Let's be real with that. It was a good masterstroke against Liverpool and Salah, but he didn't play very well in Bodo Glimt. He played shocking today. And him and Gabriel together on that side today, were the reason Leeds just kept coming, and most of their good play came down that side.
Yeah, and that's what we've been trying to say is that people have been so quick to write off Kieran Tierney, who had basically an affliction that happens to every footballer, that thing beginning with I called injuries, but he's still our number one left back. Above Zinchenko, whether people like it or not, that's their problem. The fact is that, last season he was the best thing since sliced bread. The Arteta song is actually, was it Tierney at the back, Gabby in attack, Tierney at the back, Gabby in attack. So what's changed? Is he now like...
That's Mikel Arteta's man, Zinchenko, who, by the way, has missed 6 games so far when he was only supposed to be out for international break, which, by the way, was a month ago nearly.
So we're not punishing him for being injured, but we're punishing Tierney for being injured, and that's the thing.
Zinchenko's had more injuries than Kieran Tierney, by the way. If you go and have a look at Zinchenko's injury record, he's had 13 injuries in 3 seasons. Did we not check that when we signed him?
Yeah, but I'm not criticising the player from injured. What I'm trying to say is that today, that Leeds had so much time on the ball, they were able to press us from the front. They didn't do it in the first half. They tried. They had a bit of a feelings, but after we scored, the second half they came out and put it on us, and we were not able to cope, and we rode the luck. And that has been synonymous of the poor form we displayed in Norway, where just like Leeds, our opponents, Bodo Glimt, weren't good enough to punish us. And you can't keep on playing like this. We have a right to say, you know what, I'm a bit concerned now. Now we won, and that's brilliant. But let's remember, we are, whether we like it or not, going for a title, because mathematically it says we are. Now, we don't think we're going to win it, but if we actually have the ambitions of fighting for the top spot, we've got to improve defensively. We've got to improve off the ball, because at the end of the day, we can't keep on riding their luck. We're going to need more we can't have a performance like that from our players. We've got people say, it's for the first time. Doesn't matter. Can't happen again. Jesus can't play like that again. Tommy Asu, when he gets a chance, he's got to be better than that. Gabriel, if something's wrong in with his performances, got to consider dropping him and say, right, Benjamin White, you go and play alongside Saliba. And get back. Because right now, if you're talking about weak links, Gabriel Magalhaes is a weak link. It's about time we call it out. Yes, we know he's a good player. Yes, we were pleased with his performance 2 seasons ago, but right now it's not good enough. And it hasn't, just because we won 9 out of 10 games, it hasn't cost us as much. During the phases of play, it's dangerous. It could lead to defeats, and that's why we have to look at his position, because Pep would do it, even if say Cancelo was playing like that, or Ruben Diaz was performing like that, or like Laporte, they're out. Doesn't matter how well they're playing before, they're out.
Why do you think Nathan Ake still plays? Because he's not doing them mistakes. Nathan Ake's played very well this season.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is the thing, Kenny. People need to wake up to the fact that yes, it's been a fantastic start. It really has. Yeah, let's not take nothing away from them. Yeah, it has been a great start to the season. Like I said, that is the first time we've done that in top flight football. 9 wins out of the first 10. Yeah, that is insane, right? But I think this manager is starting to sit there and think we can wing this until the World Cup. We can get away with this to the World Cup. The problem is when you've got that, there was a lot of players out there today that looked way off the pace. Yeah, people were saying to me in the live chat that, yeah, but that's because we played Thursday. We shouldn't be putting our first team players out against that team on Thursday anyway. But this is Leeds United. They're 15th. They've only won 2 out of 9 games now after today. They had a minus goal difference. Yes, they were unbeaten at home, but come on, let's be real with it. They played a Chelsea team that was on its knees at the time. Yeah, and then I think they played a couple of other average teams. We should be walking in there and slapping them. We slapped them 4-1 last season, and we're better this season, right?
We can't take away. The thing is, we can't take away from the fact they play really well. But when teams like that play really well, you react in kind. You react to themselves. And what's happened is that we gave up too much possessions to them. What we wanted, what we were trying to do is that we were hoping that Partey would, win the ball back and give it to Odegaard, and we can hit him on the break. And that's what we did. We tried to soak up the pressure, but it was, we had to ride our luck. Sometimes, you can't always play that high line. You can't always try and think, right, if they make a mistake, we're going to hit them on the break with our pace. Yes, it works most of the time, but today it was a dangerous ploy, which nearly cost us, like the points. And, in the end, we need to go back to a back three. The team selection, Tomiyasu justified his place because of his performance against the ball. But today, he didn't do us justice. Gabriel hasn't done his justice. Odegaard, very concerned with. He had a good start to the season where he was scoring goals, being involved in the play. He gets involved in the play, but he fades. That's got to be a concern. Yeah. He fades because the other day, in the big moments where, we could get down to the wire. If you need to either knit a goal to win a game or knit a goal to get an equaliser, we need him on the pitch. But if he's not performing and teams are running past him and he becomes like they have a spare man in midfield because he's not contributing, it's not an accident that he's coming off. So you got to have improvement because at the end of the day, winning's beautiful with nice football, but sometimes you've got to demand more from yourselves. You know what I mean? Look how Arteta celebrated afterwards. He punched the air. It wasn't because we played well. He was relieved. Yeah. He knew we got
100%. Listen, we're going to do player ratings shortly. Make sure you follow Kenny Ken 1972 on Insta. And we're out of here, people. We'll be back shortly. Check my fan cam out before this one. Check Jez is out after and Matt's as well. Player ratings will be out later. Adios, amigo. Arteta fuera.